Yeah. Everybody, hope you all. Well, I should be saying Buenos Dias, but Buenos Dias. This is Jamie Irvin, and hope you had a great weekend and enjoyed yourself. Hopefully, you got some good eats. Let's jump right in before the opening bell. The stock futures rise to start the second quarter as Dow approaches 40,000. Good morning, Janae. Good morning, Marsha Dawson. In the pre-market currently, Dow futures is down 0.12%. S&P futures is up. Well, technically it's at zero, but it's 0%. It's not unchanged because it's up by like a quarter. NAS futures up 0.04%. The VIX currently is up 5.61%. The Russell 2K last reported up 0.48%. In terms of Europe, last reported mostly up. The DAX 0.08%, FTSE up 0.26%, CAC up 0.01%. The European stocks logged gains of around 7% for the first quarter as inflation eases. FTSE Milano down slightly, 0.03%. Stocks 600 unchanged. ASX 200 for Asia, which is Australia actually, is up 0.99%. Nikkei 1.40% down. Wow. Kospi 0.04% up, as well as 0.91% for HSI in Shanghai, up the most, 1.19%. China stocks rise after factory activity data. Japan's Nikkei 225 closes below 40,000. So that is what has been going on. Let's take a look at Forex Factory. So we have 4 folders happening today, one in each color. The final manufacturing PMI is a yellow folder at 9:45. At 10 o'clock, we have the other 3 folders. Red folder, ISM manufacturing PMI. Orange folder, ISM manufacturing prices. And then the other yellow folder is construction spending month over month. So that is happening at the 10 o'clock time frame. 9:45 starts this first one on. That's about the time we're looking for our breakout and start setting those levels anyway. 9:45, 3 stars over here on investing.com. The S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI for March, 3 stars, 9:45. At 10 o'clock, 2 stars. Starts off the 10 o'clock run. Construction spending month over month. 1 star for the Dallas Fed PCE for February. 2 stars, still at 10 o'clock, for the ISM Manufacturing Employment for March. 1 star for the ISM Manufacturing New Orders. The bell just rang. 3 stars for the ISM Manufacturing PMI for March, and 3 stars for the ISM Manufacturing Prices for March. And then we have 2 1 stars at 11:30. That's the 3-month bill auction and the 6-month bill auction. Then at 2 o'clock, we have 2-star event, which is Atlanta Fed GDP Now quarter 1. And then at 6:50, Fed Governor Cook speaks. So we got some stuff sprinkled in throughout the day, but mainly 1 stars. These 2 stars are the same as the other side over there, so or relatively the same. So we're nothing major in terms of what we normally see for announcements. We got our earnings kicking it off this morning. Nanox, Sigma, Lithium, Ondas Networks, Terran Orbital, LM Funding, Decision Point, Jaguar Health, Venus Concept, and Escalade. All right. And then Mach Natural Resources. So that's before open. And then after close today is PVH, Canoe, Microvast, Pioneer Power Solutions, Zomedica, Amoros, Duos Tech, New York City REIT, NGS, and Vertra. My apologies. Tomorrow morning, Paychex is now keep in mind, this is, earnings whispers list. These are not the only things reporting, but the things that they deem, significant and by whatever measure they are judging by. Just paychecks tomorrow after the close. Tomorrow there's Dave and Buster's and Cal-Maine Foods. All right. Might as well look at Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, before open is Acuity Brands. Looks like Ice Cure and Biomex. After close is BlackBerry, Levi's, Simulations Plus, Sportsman Warehouse, and RGP. Thursday, before open, we got Lamb Weston, Conagra, Simply Good Foods Company, Angiodynamics, Lindsay Corporation, RPM, Plant, which is regenerative medicine, and Radius Recycling. And then after close Thursday, Cura. And then before open on Friday is Berna and the Greenbrier companies. So obviously the most recognizable names probably would be, depending on what you're into in terms of sectors. I know Conagra, I recognize them as Simply Good, as well as Levi's and Dave & Buster's. So what I'm seeing is a little bit of tech, a little bit of, so XLK, XLV, if you're doing sector ETFs, consumer discretionary, XL discretionary is Y. So there's a little bit of everything going on this week, but again, I don't see anything that's like the big ones, the big dogs that we're normally used to shaking the market. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Lady T. Adamasini on Thursday, 5270 breakout level was my final target in SPX. As long as it was around 5250 held. We held 5250, rallied to 5270, 75. We retested 5250, 4 p.m. Thursday, broke out last night. 5266 is support. As long as it holds, 5279 is the first up, breakout. 5287, 5297 will be next up. If 5266 fails, dip to 5257 and 5250 again. So this is the gap. This was a gap that happened Sunday. I'm sorry. This was Friday. And then yesterday this happened. So this is SP. This is ES on the 15-minute chart. So it went up, and it is literally trying to fill that gap right now. On that side, so that was yesterday's activity. We're gonna do 5266, and we're gonna mark that on the chart, and keep it moving. And actually, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong chart. Got to do ES, do SPX. SPX. There you go. There we go. So we do 5266 is up here. All right. I'm going to mark this for the Adamasini information. And we'll put a little note up there. And he had levels. Or shall I say he had range. So we're going to put this on the right. And this is Thinkorswim that I'm using right now. TD Admitted Trade, who is now Charles Schwab. They're swabbing it. Okay. So let's see here. We'll do 5266. So we're going to do 527 through 5250. So what we'll do is we'll just do a rectangle. And if you have any tickers you like looked at, please post those now. We will be more than happy to accommodate you. This is going to be red. And I am going to put the numbers here. for these ranges that Adam has here, which is 52, 57, 57, and 52.50. All right. And then we had the numbers at the top. So he's got 52.87 to 52.97. Right? I'll just duplicate this. And 52.87, 52.97. 52.97. This will be in the Telegram chat box. We will be putting those in there as usual. Our latest project is underway as of today. I believe at some point Alyssa will be on to, oh, she's here now. I knew I heard a pop or something, but what's the face for? I'm charting. I ain't looking at no ragged.
I'm like, I'm here.
Oh, I ain't looking at you. I'm looking at the chart. Got to get the people what they want. We got one more number I was going to put on there, but we'll let our excuse me, we'll let Alyssa do what she needs to do. Over to you, Jack. Actually, you would be Jill in the situation. Over to you, Jill.
Yes, thank you. So if we're doing peak bot picks, I put a post in the chat. I want to say it was on Saturday and said, here's our, here's the list. And I wanted you to look and see which ones of those that you liked. And then of course we were on yesterday evening. I know a lot of people were doing Easter stuff, no judgment. Just saying that let's go ahead and see which ones you like. Pick 10 of those that you like, and all you need to do with Peakbot Picks is post on Twitter. You need to post on Twitter and use the hashtag Peakbot Picks. Right? Use the hashtag Peakbot Picks and put in the 10 that you like. Right? I think you do need to do it. I want to say by 11. Anybody remember the time that it said that you had to have them in by? I want to say it was by 11. I usually do mine like soon after the market opens so that I don't forget them. But let's see if we can present. Let me see if I can get us to our list. Give the people what they want. You started that in my head, sir. Jamie, that would be you. You are the sir I'm speaking of. Okay. Here's our list of different ones. If you like some that you know you're going to trade, not sure what I'm looking for. Let's pick out your 10. We had some, I think Geraldine did her 10. I want to say Valerie did her 10. And you know, y'all get on the weekend and like nothing's happening, nothing doing in the telegram. I'm like, I put some stuff in there. There's the list though. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on. I'm trying to get in so I can see the comments from the other side. I like a few. We looked at Bank of America. We looked at Devon. You got, the oils, Dow and Oxy. Disney is a good one. Amazon, the cruise lines, any of those cruise lines or airlines, those are seem to be popping a bit too. And MGM. Really go with what you're comfortable picking. I think it was 11 as well. I see two people said 11. Yes. So if sorry, it was really busy. We listen again, no judgment. I was busy too. I went down to Brevard County and hung out with my stepdaughter and her daughter. So my granddaughter, was her birthday. So we hung out and did number two birthday stuff. Her birthday was yesterday, 3/31, Miss Nova Bean. And then I got to see my father on the way back up here. So it was pretty a lot of movement happening there too. Cool, cool. So we got our 10. Look at your 10 and then or decide on your 10 and put in Peakbot Picks on Twitter. You basically make a post, and after you post your hash, like you would say, $BAC, right? $, AMZN, whichever ones you like, right? And then at the end of that, do hashtag Peakbot Picks. Do between 3 and 10, turn them in. Go for it. I hope you registered though with Peakbot to make sure that they got you registered. Again, it's free. So Peakbot Picks is not going to cost you a thing to get registered. Go ahead and register and put yourself in line to make the monties. All right. Back to you, Jamie.
Aren't you supposed to delve a little bit more into our kickoff tonight?
Oh, well, you want me to do that too right now? We can do that too right now. Yep, we can do that right now too. We are kickoff. We are kicking off tonight. You know how they used to do on the on the Christian channels. Christian tonight. We're gonna have whatever. Anyway, we're gonna have our kickoff tonight. Is what we're having tonight. Let me bring in my AI individual to so she can tell us. I don't really need that. I can go to the slides. Yep. There we go. Am I sharing my screen? I am not. There we go. Wow. Maybe not. Maybe so. There we go. Yay. Here we are. The Options 411 6 weeks live options coaching is kicking off tonight. If you have not registered or signed up yet, you need to come on. If you're already a member, nothing for you to do. All right. If you're already in my membership, there's nothing for you to do but just show up tonight. All right. I'll make sure that you have the link. But if you have not registered and you're not a part of our membership, you need to go to educatortotrader.com. You can still use Easter as your coupon code to get $50 off. But we're kicking off, it says tomorrow, but it's actually kicking off tonight at 9 o'clock. Actually, it's 9 o'clock tonight because I have a prior commitment from 7 to 8:30. So by the time I get back home, which I'll probably be home a little earlier, I don't like doing things that late at night. But I know some people who do late night all the time, and I think that's just their space. But I don't like to do things too late, but I want us to start today. And I don't really have any other, either I got to do it at like 4 o'clock when people are still just getting off work. And that's not the way to do that. Or I'll do it tonight at 9. Our kickoff really just includes kind of getting to know everybody. What does the 6 weeks look like? How are we going to manage all of our the weekly things? What's the process and all that? That's what really the kickoff includes. So I'm definitely not minimizing because it is a great time, but it's not, we don't really get into the meat of things in the kickoff. We really get comfortable with one another and kind of we set the stage for how we're going to function and how we're going to flow in the kickoff. Okay. All righty. I don't know why these up here at the top are showing that Facebook and those are not running. Okay. Now I can say it's back to you. Let me just see what's going on up here. Go ahead, Jamie. Jamie, you're on mute. If you're talking, you're muted.
That's how like every other conversation. I keep telling our listeners we need to switch this up to something else. Yeah. Good old StreamYard.
Listen, sir.
Oh, StreamYard. All right. Let me this is on the wrong screen, so let me go to this screen. Share screen. Good old screen. All right. I was looking for tickers. Anybody have any tickers? Anything I want to look at? I got my 3 that I was gonna do anyway. And
We did Devon and FCX. We did that last night. We did Uber last night, and there was another one. So some of these you don't need to do again.
okay.
Uh,
Well, for those who are not on that particular call, do y'all have anything that y'all want charted? XM. Yes, that's awesome. Let's go with XM. Oh, yes, let's do the XOM, but let's put in our 15-minute level. Do that. We're on SPX right now. And this is for, actually, that's one-on-one. This is for the breakout. People who do the breakout strategy. Which one I use for that? So we got it. This thin line right here. I'm gonna blow this up so you can see it. It's a thin line. All right. So this candle right here, and go right there. So this is bouncing off this price point. It's high. That's what's happening right there. And then we will be watching that to see what happens. Okay. We'll tackle the ones you guys have posted. All right. Take a look at Exxon. Exxon has been running up anyway, doing a fantastic job of staying on the trending upwards. And it is trying to retest. This is the monthly view I'm looking at right now. It is trying to retest up here. So let me, I'm going to mark this because for those of you who may be familiar with chart patterns, all right, here's what I'm seeing. Show you this real quick. So I am marking. I like to mark where I see prices turning around, especially on these higher time frames. So when I get to the lower time frames, it'll already be set. The reason why I'm paying attention to this setup right here is because if anybody is familiar with the chart patterns, the continuation and reversal patterns, this monthly view has what could be, who knows what it'll be, but this is coming up from this pole. It's coming up from this direction, all right, which is basically from south to north, and it is like retested. If you want to count these two as one, I would. That's fine, or even if it's two, but it's retested there, and this is a second or third retest, depending on how you count this. And if that's the case, then it looks very much like what's called a triple top happening. And the triple top, if that's what it is, reversal. So it would hit here and, start coming down this way. If that's what it is, right about here at this, what I call the neckline, there will be an entry somewhere around this neckline. If that's the case, again, this is the monthly view. So this is not, this none of this is investment advice. But it is to say that that's the pattern that I see, specifically because of the way this ran up on this end. We do have in our Telegram community, we do have charts. We do have the continuation and reversal chart posted. All you have to do is search hashtag. Actually, you can just do hashtag candle patterns. But if you just did hashtag continuation or hashtag reversal, it'll come up. And I know that those hashtags work. Why? Because I put them on myself. We're in the seller zone on the weekly. We're on the seller zone here. So that's a pretty pretty based right there. So this is the retest. And so this is the reason why I consider this 2 revisits, because it came down and then it hit it back up. And this is again on the weekly. So I can't see why this wouldn't be considered, a triple top or quadruple top, or, we all know it can always go up and keep going, but it wouldn't surprise me if it stops in this area and starts heading down at some point. But this is the weekly. And then let's look at the daily. And it looks like on the daily, it is in this zone right here. And so we know that it is in its sell zone. All right. And what we'll do, actually, delete one of these and then I'll zoom in. All right. So we're going to mark this green. All right. I'm going to put this here. Current price is right there, but we'll do it as though. So what I'm marking here is seller zone that is in, leg in, base, leg out, and there was a gap there that it filled. So it just filled this gap over the last few sessions. All right. I usually mark this gray on my charts. Gray just means that there's something going on there. Not sure, either not sure what happened or it's currently in that zone, which is what's happening here. And then we got the next sell zone up is 119. 119 is what I see there. So flip this to green and give it a regular line. Say okay. And then there's leg in, base, leg out. So if it continues up, which it could very well do, I would say the next seller zone is up there. And also keep in mind, when you get up here, there's a gap right here. Right there. So this date right here is 9/28/23. All right, September 28, 23. All right. So I'm gonna mark that gap up there. And oops. Do it this way. There you go. Leg in, base, leg out. That's a lot of pressure right here in this middle candle too. This came up, and then when it went up and down. So that's a lot of this was originally going to be looking kind of different, but the buyers pushed that up, made that candle interesting base candle. But leg in, base, leg out is what I got there with the gap. So we just got to look for a buyer zone. So seller zone up there at the top. Let's look at buyer zone and see what we got. If we have something that's clear on this time frame, this kind of depends on, I guess, how you like the chart. The next leg out has not been formed yet, obviously. So to consider this a cheer, we don't know what this next one is going to be. So I don't, I can't do anything about that right now. But we do have other options. Well, one thing we could do, I don't see anything definitive here. I'm definitely not using this as a leg in, that's for sure. So usually when I see something that doesn't look clear, 2 directions we can go. My natural instinct is always go to the weekly to check, only because the weekly has higher concentration of prices. And I guess, would y'all consider this a cheer formation right here? No. To me, it looks more like could be a momentum candle. I was going to ask her Alyssa, but she disappeared. If she thinks that that's a momentum candle or a cheer.
I
Uh,
am still here.
oh, well, hello, welcome back. Do you think this is do you think this is a momentum candle, or this is on the weekly chart?
Hmm.
Consider this formation a cheer, or do you think that's a momentum candle?
That one in the middle, I think it's momentum.
You think that's momentum? Good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's a chair. It needs to be a little smaller and really pause, but
Okay. See that? See that? See that? All right.
mm-mm.
So then the next one that I see, it's a bunch of them in the base, but
I didn't think y'all wanted to see me eat my cottage cheese, so I turned off my camera.
you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Wisdom.
anytime.
That's using wisdom. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank
God bless you. But I have to ask, are you eating like peaches with it?
Pineapples.
Pineapples? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I told you
Cottage cheese with pineapples.
I told you, so I already know. I
Yeah.
already
I don't really like it with peaches.
My mom is the soldier I'm referring to, and that's the only reason I know about that whole setup. It
No.
was either peaches or those rice cakes.
Oh yeah, no. Mm-mm.
I couldn't do it.
Mm-mm. Now I do like crushed pineapples with them, but I see a lot of videos now where cottage cheese is being used on in all kinds of stuff. I mean, savory and sweet. It can go both ways, I guess.
Yeah, and it's mostly an abomination,
It's a
but
very healthy. It's not an abomination. A very healthy snack.
it's an abomination, obviously.
Okay, bye. Bye.
It's an abomination. They are desecrating people's taste buds out here.
No way. No way.
All right. So what I'm seeing for a buyer zone, I don't see anything that I would consider to be clear for a buyer zone right now. On the really not even on the weekly. For at the closest thing I see is something here on the 4 hour. So the clearest thing on the 4 hour is right here. It's 113, and then I see a little something a little bit higher up. So I'm going to mark this. All right. So we'll have a lines of different colors, but all they're doing is just marking the buy zones in different areas. So this is another Alyssa question. What do you think about this as a cheer formation? I don't like it, but I don't get paid.
Yes, I think that's a chair. You can switch over to the line, but I think that's a chair.
All right, you say so.
Did you switch over to the line? Are you going to do that now? Yeah, look at that.
How
A
about that?
sunken
I'm talking
a
about this
sunken couch. Yes, right there. That sunken couch.
some can couch, like when the pillow need to be replaced
Yes.
because your uncle was smoking on the couch and didn't put the cigarette out before he dozed off, and now y'all got now y'all got a burn mark in the couch, but everybody keeps sitting on it.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah.
close
That
over
one.
instead of just okay.
That one. Yeah.
So we'll consider it a cheer then.
Mhm.
I guess
Silly, silly.
that's what we doing.
Mhm.
That's what we doing. I'm not saying I'm speaking from experience at all.
Well,
Saying I understand raggedy couches.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get them.
Yeah, yeah,
I totally
yeah.
understand. All
Mm.
right. So on our 4 hour time frame, thank you for your input, our listener Pickleton. So we have a buyer zone right here at 113 zone. Then we have a cheer. This is a V formation or U formation. Then the cheer formation, also on the 4 hour, is right here next to it. That's 114, 115. And that is the area where this is currently trying to bounce off. This is what it looks like on the daily. And I'm going to blow this part up. So this would be the zone that it was in. That's in the first level down. This would be the next level, right? And notice that this really, I mean, this is encompassing where it gapped up on this 4 hour anyway. Then we have what we're working with right now, which is what it's trying to do, but it has been retesting that line. And then Next line up, or at least for the daily, is I have is up there. So that's what I got for XM. All right. All right. I don't see any questions on that. So we'll keep it pushing. Let's take a look see at I'm trying not to rush through this, but our listener made a comment about me going too long. So I'm trying to make sure.
That is not what she said.
I don't know
That is not what she said.
what she
No,
said.
no.
It's on
She did say that you
video.
used to do it
It's on
much
video.
faster and now you're not doing it as fast. But she didn't say to
Mm,
rush. And if people are
that ain't what
interested
I heard.
in listening, you should continue.
That's not what I heard in my spirit. What I heard in my
That's not
spirit
what you
was
heard. Okay.
this,
Yeah.
bro. It's taking forever to get through these charts.
No, that is definitely not what I said.
What we need
Most definitely
to
not.
be doing is hurrying up. Uh,
Yeah.
it has not done the breakout yet. Actually, this is on a 4 hour. Let me do 15 minutes. Yeah, so we're still in the mix like hammer, everybody. Um, it is actually forming what looks to be a sell zone. So it is bouncing off this area. This was like the high of the last trading day over here. So this is what it's doing in here. Has not broken out quite yet. And again, this zone is what Mancini had on his list. With that this is the zone of no return. We got to make sure we hold true to that, like a bloodstained banner. You know how they be talking. BAC, BP, that's Bank of America, I believe. British Petroleum, Verizon, Google, Micron, and AMD. We're gonna hit all these, and then we shall release thee to thy own devices for the day. How about that? All right, BAC back. All right, on an uptrend, I'm sure, because they are consistently, they being just the general finance community, likes to rob us of them with them fees. Dude, you got an overdraft for 22 seconds, they send you $30. Like, hey, check this out. You owe us money. In the zone right now, monthly zone, there is in the monthly chart, there's a seller zone right here that it is making its way through. So we're gonna mark that because it's currently happening, right? If it breaks through here, this will be a good opportunity to put an alert and watch for a retest, because that can always happen. This situation with this line is the difference between what we say. Some of us put the candle on the body, some put it on the wick when it comes to determining where the line should go, things of that nature. I'm fine either way, but I'm mostly go with that version of it, is the wick. I just looking at kind of like where the other lines have bounced off of it is how I looked at it. But I will chart this as a zone on the monthly because it is so close to current price, right? So you got, I mean, there's quite a few things you can do with this. Leg in, 3 in the base, leg out. My understanding is you could do this. And again, I'm just going by what I see, my accountability partner chart as well. But leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. The important thing here for me is that this leg out gets some shine. Even if you don't want to do the top one, sometimes I do not. I still will put this line in here because not only was it a retest, but it has been, it has been through before. So, and I at least want to acknowledge that it is there. But the general direction is that it's trying to move itself up. And to be honest with you, this looks like where the last breakout was right here on the monthly. The weekly, See, same deal. It's in the seller zone right now. This is the area that it is in right now. The the only really clear buy zone that I see is right down here on the weekly. It's a bunch of little indecision type candles on the way up on weekly, and then on the daily, let's see what we come up with. I see a buyer zone that has formed under price, 2 in the base, and it is currently like it's trying to bounce off of some type of price point there. So I'm going to mark this because there's a gap right here, right? The only I've always liked Bank of America from the standpoint of it's very liquid. Like on the list of stocks that are liquid, they always pop up. But man, the ATR, it doesn't really doesn't do a lot of moving. Um, at least whenever I looked at it, uh, doesn't seem to be doing a lot of moving. So this is our buyer zone. Leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. That's a nice V formation right there. And then let's rewind. So this is, if you go over here, right here, that is part of this right here. Bouncing off the same point, which is near the monthly point that we looked at a second ago. Right? So it's definitely having fun. So it went into the sell zone and it got rejected. So want to look at the next sell zone up to be on the safe side and to be prepared. Alyssa was supposed to sing that part, but that's fine. That was your cue. That was your cue. You know what you're supposed to do. When they point to the person, it's like, okay, this you got to do your singing. All right. So buyer zone.
I missed my cue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. So buyer zone, seller zone. That's what's happening with Bank of America. This is a what is that? 37, 36, about $1. 37, 38. Okay. Yep, that's what we got. If you're trying to trade this, I would probably be doing a call credit spread right about now. I'll start with the safe side and go from there. I'm gonna be up here with the call credit. What are you gonna say, Alyssa? You would do the put credit spread?
uh,
You was laughing. I thought you was laughing at what I was saying.
I was laughing at something else, but yeah,
Oh,
probably
okay.
put credit spread.
You said you would do put credit spread?
I probably would, even though this white candle's a question mark. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Uh, just real quick. This is the 4 hour, and this is a formation in the 4 hour in the seller zone. Leg in, base, leg out. So it's definitely rejecting off that seller zone, at least for right now. Okay, so that's Bank of America. Bank of America. All right. This is the 1 hour. So Bank of America, British Petroleum.
Did you come up with did you look at a strike at all, or just that you believe you do believe it's still bullish?
Say it again.
I said, did you come up with a strike, or you just gonna go with what's on the graphic? I mean, we don't need a strike for peak by picks. You don't need a strike. I'm just asking, did you come up with one?
Oh, Bank of America was on that list.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going by what was in the chat
Bank of
box.
America is 37 is the strike.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm, 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 mm. 37 is here. They're doing what? Put or what?
put credit spreads.
They are doing put. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean the whole my whole graphic is put credit spreads this week.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, if you want to do so, if you were doing a is that 50 cent, am I saying that right? Yeah, it's eight
What
cents.
level?
You're doing April 5th expiration, right? It's only a 50 cent spread. I would be doing a so really one spread is not that much more, but obviously you can always put in what you want in there. But that's a one spread right there.
Did you
So
agree that 37 was a good strike? Let me see. What's the probability? Yeah, that's probably good. The 75 probability out of the money. I think it's good. And yeah, hmm
0.7, you said?
37.5 would be too close.
I'm not against it, I guess. It's close, but it ain't, 37. Yeah, 75. I know you like 75, so you know, you like that. You're okay with the 35, you know. You're good with it, 75%. So yeah. Miss Froggy over there. Okay. Like if you feeling froggy, you'd be like, no, you mean if you're you. Because I'm snail. you froggy.
No, but 70 to 75 is a really safe place to be. I mean, especially on other stuff besides SPX. Now SPX, you can be at 2% and it can get breached, but um many of the other ones, I mean, if you get 75%, if it works out more times than not, then you're gonna end up profitable, right?
I know, but that has to
Yeah.
be my
Okay.
testimony. So but I will say that I respect what you do and being more brave than I as well.
Well, this is where we talk about people. Some people are more aggressive traders than others, and that's why you need to trade with your own personality. So if you're in a place where you really want to get, an 80% probability or 85, then just know that your profits are going to be different. It's really just a trade off, and one is not bad or good. And, we joke about it, but one is not better than the other. It just really comes down to what you're more comfortable doing, and you need to trade how you're comfortable. Listen, my way don't always work. Okay. Believe me, a lot of times it don't work. But yeah, go with what's gonna work comfortably for you.
I appreciate
Hmm.
that. We're still in the seller zone right here for BP. In the seller zone. Don't forget that BP and Exxon and Chevron, they're all in the same space anyway. So some of these charts may look all right. There's a gap up here on BP on the weekly. So I was just looking at the monthly. This is the weekly. Um, Buyer zone right here at $35. It looks like it is trying to base right here, right? It can still go up, but it does look like it's going to the side right now. In this area, it seems to do that because it did over here as well in the same zone. Um, but if I was going to do a track the buyer zone on the weekly, it would be right here. And this right here would be my seller zone on the weekly, right? So we got some decent zones to work with at least. And now we get to the nitty gritty. All right. So you can look at this a couple different ways. Start off with charting this. This was a gap here, right? Gap down, gap up, gap up, and leg in, base, leg out right there. I would consider this to be a zone on top of a zone, or um, there's two ways that I usually do that. And usually I just mark this with gray because it is not at the exact formation. I mean, it's a weak leg out. Let me just say it that way. So, and I've seen those before. You see those all the time. So somebody might consider that a not a buyer zone. Some people. My thing is acknowledging that something is happening right here. That's what's important for me, um, to go that route. But I see a gap right here. So there is something happening downstairs. And so you have this gap. Whoops. And then you have a cheer formation that's sitting right under all of that. So you definitely have some activity that is happening here. So if you want to make this leg in base with this cheer, leg out. A second ago, we were talking about, our listener was talking about the base being a certain size on that other one. Um, Having a smaller base right there is what we would consider to be a good look for a base. So I'm gonna put these two together, and so we can see both of those colors. So leg in, base, leg out. There's a gap right there. Obviously, that's going to be a buffer zone for whatever time frame it is. One of the things to keep in mind is that this is also a pole. This is a run up. Anytime you see a run up like that or run down, that's a potential formation as far as those chart patterns. We may not know if it's continuation or reversal, but that run up like this is can usually tell us something. It might bounce around in here and come down. Who knows? But just be aware that the potential is there for one of those flags of some sort. But this is what I have right now. Buyer zone down here. It looks like it could be in a zone. And then seller zone up here. I'll probably end up posting these in the chat, in the Telegram chat box. All right. Let's do Verizon next. Actually, let's check and see if SPX has decided to moonwalk his way to something else. Let's see what we got. Who knows? Uh-oh, look at this Joker trying to break out. Look at this Joker trying to do a little something. All right. So we got leg in, base, leg out. We got the breakout right here. This technically would be a seller zone. Remember, it retested here, so may not be a surprise. In this case, I would be waiting to. I'll probably give a little bit more time, just a tad bit more time to see if it's going to pull back, because we've seen this before, where it'll have a long candle coming out and it'll push back up and then continue in. Sometimes it'll bounce around here, that kind of thing. But so I would just, because there's the level right here, I'll just give it a little bit to see if it's going to, pull back. But at least it finally did come out of that zone. So that is something to watch for those who are, and to be honest, it doesn't have to come, I'm not saying there has to be a bunch of candles coming out of there, but I would definitely say in this case, with this being an area that, especially with, for the area that Mancini was saying something could be happening, I would give it a second just to see. All right, so let's do Verizon. And that's what I got going on. Miss Ma'am, now would be a good time to set up my team thing.
I told you I don't see where there's a my team thing to set up. There's nothing that says my team on my screen. It says team settings and then something else, but no nothing said my team. I looked.
What?
I can share my screen so that way you could see that I'm what I'm talking about, but not sure where
I
you
can share
saw
my
my
screen.
team.
I can share my screen to show you where I got it.
Okay, go ahead. That sounds good. Go ahead.
Like, I know I ain't hallucinating this.
No, I mean, if you saw my team, I didn't see that. I saw team settings and then I saw something else. But even under team settings, it didn't give me it didn't talk about anything you were talking about. So I didn't know what you were seeing.
All right, lady. I know I sent you a video on this, but that's fine.
Oh my goodness.
I know I did. I'm thorough. I might be annoying, but I'm definitely thorough. I'm thoroughly annoying.
Can somebody help me? Anybody come to my rescue? This is what I
I'm
must contend with.
pretty sure. You got to say it behind my back. I tell you, I'm annoying.
I did not call you annoying. That's you calling yourself annoying. I didn't say anything about you being annoying.
I ain't you ain't like, no, don't feel that way. That's how people usually say if they like
No,
you. Be like, no, I don't feel that way. You're not.
no, I didn't say that. You continue to mention the things you want me to do because I don't do them when you mentioned them the first time.
Right, but it be important stuff.
I get you. And I went to look today and I can't find what you're talking about. So the video, I don't remember that part, but
No, you don't. You never do. You never do, player. You never.
not don't say never.
You rarely do. You rarely do, player. So this is this is the monthly. This is with a nice turnaround right here. On the Verizon. By the way, Alyssa, we were talking about rolling R's in Spanish, and the reason I
I
was able
cannot.
the reason I was able to roll my R's is because I started rolling my R's on stuff that wasn't Spanish. That's how I started doing it. When I was learning, I was walking around like radar. I was just
Oh,
doing it
really?
on whatever.
Yeah,
Red
I can't roll R's, period.
Roosevelt.
No, it's like Royo for me. Arroyo, Arroyo. That's
Yep,
as
I was
Orojo.
down the list. Well, I was
Yeah,
definitely doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Sellers
I can't. I can't.
on the weekly is in the zone right here, and there's a buyer zone right there, and you can do either one of these candles right here. You can do leg in, two in the base, or if you like, if you're cool with the smaller leg ends, or shall I say with the smaller body, the price action is still a large candle technically. Well, you can do that right there. So these zones are closer together on the weekly for Verizon. Verizon. What was it? Something. What was it with AT&T recently? Something happened, and I was like, oh, that might could be a factor for their overall sector. Um, Here on the daily, I would do leg in, base, leg out. That's what I see there. Not that great. This is an indecision, really. To me, that's more of an indecision candle. But leg in, base, leg out is how I see that. Funny looking formation, but they don't pay me to judge it. And that's why I judge it for free. Amen. Amen. So you could also, because I could, you could also probably do it this way too. I've seen it done this way: leg in. This one is in the base, leg out. That one, I've seen it done, so that's why I'm acknowledging it. And also because if it was done this way, I wasn't really even looking over here, but this is where it retested and came off that line. So I guess either one of those should be fine. But the one that I'm more accustomed to, yeah, I think the one I would be more accustomed to is leg in, base, leg out. But I'm gonna put good old trusty line right here. Do it that way. All right. So we know something going on right there. And then I see a shear formation right here with the gap. Right. Leg in, base, leg out. So came down. There's some buyers up in here too, because it's turned around. But that's what I have for Verizon. I don't know what their ATR is, but there's a was looking to trade Verizon right now. I would do like what 42. You could do. I think we can agree this would be look like a potential iron condor, right? Something like that. Here and here. I would be up here to start, but I'm asking you, Arlissa.
What did you ask again? Let me see. What did you ask me?
Potential iron condor.
Between where and where?
What down here? 40 and above this. So
I
what?
probably would go with 40.5 because you got that chair right there, that little doji.
Mm-hmm.
Better for day trades or swings. You can't say one is
Mm-hmm.
better than the other, to be honest with you.
Trying to get up out of there this week anyway. So yeah.
Nice buying candle.
If you did a actually,
Use
if a one spread
strategy with
would be 10,
does not really
That's a
right?
50-cent spread.
work for QQQ.
I'm sorry, 50-cent spread is 10.
I won't say
One
it's
spread.
good or profitable. I can say it's good for both.
41.5 is going to feel close because that's what 65% probability of the money.
It's gonna be good.
Is that what I selected?
Swings, and as long
Yeah,
it's not
I thought I did. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean it may feel close for some people because it's the current price was at 41.8.
Ladies
That
and
feels
gentlemen,
very close. Yeah.
I am some people. Okay.
Yes, and I'm some people. I don't really get 65. I don't get that close either.
I am some people in that situation.
Yes.
However,
Mhm.
we can also look in the upper room, see what's going on. 42.5.
If y'all are doing your peak bot picks, you might want to go ahead and keep putting it in. Don't forget to go ahead and put that in. While I'm asking is I'm still looking at mine. I've got 6 of them on my screen. I got to put a few more in here.
All right. This is what we're looking at. 79% out of the money on this. Friday expiration, 7 cents right there. And 50-cent spread. I mean, the first thing I'm noticing over here is the amount of difference between the probability out of the money on these two. Not to say that means something specifically, but that's a nice little distance. So I definitely would feel comfortable about 79, at least in that situation. But that's just me. That's on the 42. So that's right here in this area. So that's what I got for Verizon. Okay. Goog. Hit Goog. See what Goog talking about. Did I do Google? I didn't do Google already there. I think so. Whoa, look what they doing. They at the top of the charts. All right. So this is the line that this is the area that will be retestable. All right. Y'all, Louis Gossett Jr. passed away, man. I feel a certain type of way about that.
Really? Why?
Why did he pass away? I don't know.
No. Why? Why do you feel some type of way, knucklehead?
Because I liked him. I always liked Louis Gossett Jr., he always had this cool
I
factor.
agree with that.
He
Yeah.
always had like this really cool factor. And he, to me, I mean, outside the fact his movies were, iconic, some of the stuff was iconic. But he just all like, to me, him, Richard Roundtree, you know, Billy D, from at least from my generation, when I think cool, like cool brother, you know,
Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean, well, Sam wasn't around with them guys, so but
Mhm.
I agree with you. But yeah, so it's like, man, like he was in this movie that I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was like he he ended up like crashing on a planet with this alien, and they was enemies at first,
Mm.
and then as stuff kept happening on the planet, they ended up having to be friends. Like they needed each other basically. And it was a good movie. It was a long time ago. I was like, and for some reason, and that movie was, what really really got me like, oh man, this guy's dope. So this is the weekly. There's a gap up here, 142 to 147. Let's push back down in here. So we know it is has broken past a high in this like the last high and the most recent. So, and when it did so, when it gapped up on the weekly, we can consider this a cheer formation, right? So there's a gap here and two in the base, and it pushed out. So any type of retesting here would not be a surprise, since it's showing up like that on the weekly. Here it is on the daily. Kind of a kind of a raggedy looking section here though on the daily, but I'll be looking at it probably on the weekly or the 4 hour. But this just is a whole lot of stuff happening, but no real clear direction in terms of daily. But let me see what we got as far as the buy zone anyway. Were we going on the sell zone for Google? Oh, wait, you can't. Wait, you can't, can you? Anybody know how to this is another list of question. For whatever reason, these charts on Thinkorswim, does this happen to you where I got to keep going in and telling it to
Yes.
you have that too? Okay.
Oh, not that part. Yeah, 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 that right there. I do have to, and it's irritating. So when I see what are you doing that you can like have it be set all the time? Because every time I have to keep hitting the plus button all the time, it's irritating.
So okay, so there's nothing I can do about that. All right.
I haven't found anything to do.
Okay. I'll have to do some investigation. All right. So on the weekly, obviously, since they're at highs, we don't have a place to go for the highs. And so I meant to look at the buy. So I would be doing this buyer zone right here on the weekly. Okay. And weekly is yellow. So we'll do the buyer zone here on the weekly, and then we'll do the gap on the weekly. All right. So now you got a cheer formation. Just come back to retest. It's got some competition. This whole 130 all the way up. That can be some interesting support down the road. So since we're at highs and there's a little bit of a wick from today, not much, but so right now I'll just be focusing on the buyer zone, seeing what's happening, and chances are you'll be able to get the way it's running though. Who knows what you could get, but I would say something like if you were at 50, of course it's gonna be a 2.5 spread. Yeah. Of course. So we got 3, so 153. So we did one. I will be somewhere around here. This is a 2.5 spread. 2.5 spread. 23 cents for a 2.5 spread. You can always increase that a little bit if you wanted to. But if it's running up the way it's running up, who knows? I probably would just go ahead and leave it at that. But that's what I'm saying. I might have to make my way on over to the Google chart. Once you get to a certain point, though, with these, is it on this chain? It is. Well, no. Sometimes you'll see Google. Some of the tech stocks, it'll like switch over to from one spread to another, and that not that far of a strike. A couple strikes away, it'll switch to a different spread. So you definitely got to keep an eye on that. But that's what I'm seeing for Google. Many questions. Okay, 2 more, and we out. And we're out. We're gonna swing back by SPX to see if it try to sneak and do something behind our back. There it is. Now right here, let me tell you. Oh man, I could just hear my mama speaking in tongues right now. So when this came out, because this read this on the 15-minute chart for SPX, because of this retest right here, then I'll be looking to play the breakout strategy, because at least when it dropped, this is a nice little push out. Yeah, so I would definitely be looking at that. Again, not investment advice. I'm just telling you what your boy would be doing. Okay, do whatever you like. All right, we did Google already. Sorry, we're doing Micron. Now we do have start with the chart if you are so interested. We have of course, it's free. Start with the chart is free. Thank you all for dropping your tickers and all that other stuff. And if you are so inclined, it is a free resource that has been available for a while now. I highly encourage it, but it gives you some really good charting insight, especially if you're new to charting. Start with the chart.com, free resource, courtesy of Educated Trader. We're gonna do this. So I'm gonna this is where it last was in terms of his last high. It broke through here. Again, when you see a breakout like that, put a line here, or so I say, put an alert there. If it's something that you follow, just put an alert there. Create alert, and you can say, well, when the mark is at or I would say at. You can say at or below. You can say at or below 9708 can send you an alert, right? And I'll just put like possible retest is the note. Possible retest. Right? Put today, April 1st, 24. So when I get the note, I'll have an idea of what's happening. I can watch it. Boom, retest, starts moving back up, then I know, okay, and it may even come down into it. Some, who knows, because this is a cheer formation right here. So this is a cheer formation. Leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. Some people might even go 3 in the base. I wouldn't, but I've seen it done. So that's something to look at. That's on the monthly. Weekly, the same area is still kicking up dust. Buyer zone right there. All right. And there's no way to hide the, not to cancel the alert because you can't hide it. All right. And then because they're at all-time highs. This is what this is looking like on the daily. Strong shear formation right there. Look at that. And since we're at the top, yeah, about right there-ish. Right leg in, 3 in the base, leg out, but strong. And another strong zone right here. Leg in, base, leg out. So we got 2 of them. Again, we don't have a ceiling at the top. Right now on the daily, right? If you're gonna do, if you're gonna look, you want to at least kind of get a gauge or get an idea. I will be saying probably, oops, wrong way. Probably what you do. Fibonacci retracement line. To me, it's just not enough to really see what it's doing. But I usually go from the most recent turnaround, go up and pull it back. So it hasn't really, I would say, Fibonacci retracement line. So we're tracing a little bit right now. I don't see why it can't keep going up. But that's how I would look at that. I think some people probably might even go further back and go here for their retrace. I don't know, but I'm not going to be against it. But I kind of prefer whatever that most recent one is, turnaround point on the daily. Yeah, so we're good. So we're at the point of it could still go up a little bit, or it could, still pull back. But that's what I have for that. When you're at highs like this, anything can be happening when it comes to charts and what it could possibly do. So I am going to put this here because it was a gap. All right, so we got a nice gap there. There was a lot of support under there, that's for sure. But that's what I have for Micron. Again, the tech stocks are at, a lot of them are at highs. Now, they're at highs now, like right now. But usually, it seems like, at least I shouldn't even say usually, when there's some type of emergency happening, people sell the tech stuff like quick. All right. So just be aware, we got to enjoy this whilst it is here. All right. Last one is AMD. AMD, I'm a little bit surprised at AMD because I'm almost surprised that they're not a little bit higher in terms of their stock price, but they are turning around. And all right. Right? Another potential retest happening right there. And I'll put the line right here. Oops, for the next one down, duplicate. I'll be looking at these two. On the monthly, actually, and I'll also do this up here. Make sure we do that one too. I should have just copied that. All right. So, because this is not at all-time highs, now One thing to be aware of though, leg in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 of these in the base, it is falling into a buyer zone on the monthly chart. And so you have it sitting there in the monthly zone. I mean, in the buyer zone in this monthly chart. So I'm sorry, I meant weekly. Buyer zone on the weekly chart. And matter of fact, let me take one step back. Yeah, we're good. All right. Weekly, boom, buyer zone, boom, and sellers on there, buyers on there. There's a little bit of a gap down here. There's a couple different ways. Some people use this as a leg in because this is a gap. For the next one down, you could do. I'll probably would be doing this section right here for a cheer formation. This one, I would mark it as something that's happening, but I would go ahead and do this one for the weekly. And on the daily, what we have is a gap here. And so gap here gives us that buffer immediately, right? Automatically lets us put a U formation there. Leg in, base, leg out. Right? And then also this is that zone from the monthly, right? So this is literally sitting on the zone right there. And what I have up here is now what I'm charting in terms of my focus is leg in, base, leg out, because this was a gap down. However, I include this in the range as the nearest candle, okay? Because this is a zone, this area is a zone. So I want to make sure that that candle is in there, but leg in, base, leg out is my intent. So buyer zone down here, seller zone up there, and it is just leaving a buyer zone, right? This was the other zone, so it's leaving that zone right now. And depending on where you want to put that line, so it's in that zone. So I'm gonna, alrighty. So again, hopefully we will see you all on this evening, and hope you will join us. So as we saw, SPX, so these are the zones here: seller, buyer, gap, leading buyer. And we'll take a look at SPX before we get up out of here. I'll keep doing that, sorry. Come on, SPX, let me see what you got. All right, so it looks like still might be, oh man, check it out. Big Pimp is like, I'm out of this joint. Yeah, man. That retest, man, this is why I was like, yo, wait to see what happens after that leg. That's a good. Now I don't know how long it's gonna drop, but man, that's a good that's pushing out. It's busting out. That's pushing out. All right. We are good with tickers. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Truly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed yourself. You got something out of today's broadcast. Please like, subscribe. Let us know that you are getting value out of what we're doing here. Okay. All of that being said, before I let you go away. All right. Let's check out the Dow down 0.66%. S&P futures down 0.22%. And I wanted to look at the VIX. VIX is up 6.30%. Russell 2K is down, S&P 500 down, Dow Jones down. Dow Jones industrial average down 0.55%. S&P 500 down 0.20%, and the Russell 2K down 0.91%. NASDAQ is the only one that's up, and that is barely. All right. What were you going to say, Alyssa? Okay.
I was gonna, if you were wrapping up, I was just going to. You already mentioned this evening for those who are coming um, and getting registered. I put the link in the chat already, and yep. So yeah, I just saw somebody made a comment in the Telegram about the Peakbot picks, and Dylan just answered. So those of you who are doing Peakbot picks, go ahead and look at the Telegram. Dylan is answering the question about some of the items being taken off the list. Okay.
Man,
Besides that,
what happened? Rebellious or what?
looks like he says, I didn't think it really, he said it updates hourly on trading days. I didn't think it updated that often either. I thought it only updated. Anyway, he said if you can't find certain stocks, they may have moved into the tab because they were due to maybe price fluctuations, and they're usually very high risk. Or if they pay under a $5 net premium, then they don't go on the list anymore either. Maybe that's why we could look on, well, for future, maybe for next week, we can look at the, which is kind of tough to do, look at the open to see what's on the watch list for the day. That way you got an hour and a half, I guess, to do your peak bot picks. You've got a shorter span of time, but you get a more updated list. Mm-hmm. Use peak.
Our resident Peakbot expert. So I am the resident non-Peakbot expert.
Okay. All righty.
All right. Daily declaration. By faith, I am a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me. Dinero me encanta, because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. All right. E2G daily prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. All right. Thank y'all ever so kindly for joining us today. Truly appreciate it. Definitely enjoy having you all. Thank you for your questions and your tickers. We will be in the Telegram chat box from here on out tonight. We will be convening for night one of the Options 411 project. So here's the thing. You still have time to go ahead and register. So please do so. Easter is the code word. All right. Take advantage of it. You all have a great trading day. We will see you in the market. And remember, around here, we try to do two things. That's A, stay green, and B, get this money. That's right. So we will holler at y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Bye, everyone.